Since 2017, Fortnite has had over 30 battle passes in the game. Some of these passes are great, some are good, some are mid, and some are just plain bad. So today, we're going to take a look at each battle pass from Chapter 1 Season 2 all the way up to Chapter 5 Season 4. And we're going to rank them on a tier list ranging from S tier to F tier. So let's take the time machine back to 2017 with Chapter 1 Season 1. Moving on. Chapter 1 Season 2 gave us our first proper battle pass inside of Fortnite, and it was a lot different than every battle pass that followed. And that's because there was only 70 tiers in this first rendition of the battle pass, rather than the 100 tiers that we're used to seeing. So with less tiers, this battle pass only included 4 skins: Black Knight, Sparkle Specialist, Blue Squire, and Royal Knight. And not to mention, this battle pass introduced us to 2 great emotes, with the Floss and the Worm. So with all that in consideration, we'll put Chapter 1 Season 2 into B tier. Next we have Chapter 1 Season 3. Now this was the first battle pass to contain all 100 tiers, and they used those tiers wisely. The skins in the battle pass were very solid this time around, giving us additions such as Elite Agent, the Reaper, Dark Voyager, and Rustlord. And not to mention, this battle pass provided us with one of the most toxic emotes in the entire game with Take the L. So given the pass had some great skins, and gave us this iconic emote, we'll throw Chapter 1 Season 3 into A tier. Next up we have Chapter 1 Season 4. And this is a battle pass that I really regret missing out on in Chapter 1. As far as skins go, this battle pass gave us Zoe, Carbide, the Visitor, and of course, one of the most iconic Fortnite characters with Omega. Getting all the colors for Omega was one of the biggest flexes in 2018, and for good reason, because the skin is phenomenal. But we can't forget that this battle pass also gave us the Orange Justice emote, so with all that considered, we'll put this battle pass into A tier. Chapter 1 Season 5. Now this might be a hot take, but I don't like this battle pass all that much. The only skins that I really enjoy from the pass are obviously Drift, Sunstrider, and Ragnarok, but I feel like the rest of the skins are forgettable. So we'll quickly put this battle pass into B tier. Next up we have Chapter 1 Season 6, and it's a battle pass that I'm pretty conflicted on. And this is because, in terms of skins, I only really enjoy Calamity, Dire, and Fable. I'm not a huge fan of the rest of the skins in the pass, especially DJ Yonder and Nightshade. But where this pass gets some extra points for me is the inclusion of pets for back blings. We had Bonesy, Scales, and Camo, so with that in consideration, as well as a few solid skins, we'll put this battle pass into B tier. Chapter 1 Season 7. Spoiler alert, this might be one of my favorite battle passes in the game. I really don't think any of the skins in the battle pass are bad at all. And yes, that even includes Trog, who I think is a pretty dope skin, and you guys that don't enjoy him are just mean. But in all seriousness, you have skins like the Ice King and Lynx, who are 2 of the cleanest skins in Fortnite, no doubt, and the skins that follow are also great. And not to mention, we received even more pets in this pass, and wraps were introduced for the first time in Fortnite, and they were included in the pass. But I'm gonna have to put Chapter 1 Season 7's Battle Pass into S tier. Next up, we have Chapter 1 Season 8, and I think Fortnite stayed on the winning track for this pass as well. Of course, we had the man himself, Pilly, added in this pass, but Hybrid and Blackheart are certainly my favorites from the pass, and Lux might be a little bland for a tier 100 skin, but I still think she's a pretty good skin. So Chapter 1 Season 8's Battle Pass goes into A tier. Next up we have Chapter 1 Season 9, and I won't lie, I'm pretty mixed on this pass. On one hand, I think Demi and Rox are pretty good skins, but I could do without the rest of the skins in the pass if I'm being honest. Centiel is one of my least favorite skins in the entire game, and Vendetta has to be one of the weakest tier 100 skins that we've received in any pass. So we'll put Chapter 1 Season 9's Battle Pass into C tier. And closing out the Chapter 1 Battle Passes, we have Season X. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this Battle Pass is straight heat. All of the skins are fantastic, and I love the idea of remixing some of the most popular characters from Chapter 1. Catalyst and X-Lord are by far my favorites from the pass, and my least favorite skin from the battle pass is Sparkle Supreme, but it's still a skin that I think is great. Not to mention, this pass gave us the jaywalking emote and some fantastic gliders as well. So Season X Battle Pass will go straight into the S tier. We move into a new era of Fortnite with the Battle Pass from Chapter 2 Season 1. And what does Epic have in store, you might ask? One of the worst battle passes on the list. 8-Ball and Ripley are really the only skins I would wear from this battle pass, and I think Fusion was a a pretty underwhelming tier 100 skin, especially when you consider that this was the first battle pass of a brand new chapter. So since this battle pass is pretty forgettable, we'll throw it into D tier. Moving on to chapter 2 season 2, and boy did Fortnite redeem themselves with this pass. Of course, we have some of the best skins in the past with Meowscles and Midas, but we can't forget that this season also gave us Deadpool and Sky, and not to mention Mia, who was a skin that you were able to customize to be uniquely yours. Each character also had an extra style with the choice of Shadow or Ghost, and to top that off, we also had the solid gold edit styles to unlock for each skin. So this placement is a no-brainer, and Chapter 2 Season 2 goes into S tier. Next up, we have Chapter 2 Season 3. Now this pass was certainly a step down from the pass in Season 2, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. The pass gave us Kit and Jules, who were my two personal standouts for the pass, and to be honest, over time, some of these skins have grown on me, specifically Fade and Eternal Night. Another plus was that you were able to customize your own umbrella glider, making for some pretty sick combos and a nice souvenir of the season. So with all that said, we'll put Chapter 2 Season 3's Battle Pass into B tier. And next up, we have Chapter 2 Season 4. Every skin in this Battle Pass is an absolute chef kiss, and I'll die on this hill. Even if you're not a big Marvel fan, or a Marvel fan at all, these skins all had fantastic designs, and we had some amazing super styles to go along with the skins. The only downside that I have is that some of the items are gatekept due to the lore, meaning some items are only usable with the respective characters, such as the Mjolnir pickaxe being exclusive to Thor. But that aside, I think all the skins in this pass are still phenomenal, so the Nexus War Pass goes into S tier for me. Next up, we have Chapter 2 Season 5. I won't lie, in previous videos, I've kinda bashed on this battle pass, but recently, I've challenged that point of view, and I now hold a different opinion. I think Mando, Mancake, and Condor are my favorites for the pass, and the only skin that I really don't enjoy is Reese. So I'll humbly admit that I was wrong about this battle pass in previous videos, and I'll put it into A tier. And oh boy, next up we have Chapter 2 Season 6. Without a doubt, this battle pass is the best part of the season, but that isn't saying much, is it? The only skins worth running from this battle pass are Lara Croft, Raven, and Jones. Because in my opinion, the rest of the skins are either bland or forgettable, and the Spire is one of the worst tier 100 skins of all time. Also, Neymar Jr. was such a random choice given the theme of the season, and the icing on the cake is that the super styles for this battle pass are hot buns. If it wasn't for the 3 solid skins, I would say D tier, but for now we'll put Primal's Battle Pass into C tier. Now you might think some of my picks for today's list are a little bit crazy, but the craziest thing is that over 90% of you guys are not subscribed. Let's see if we can hit 10K by the end of the year, and maybe then I'll start coming up with some good takes. Chapter 2 Season 7. This is a pass that I'm pretty mixed on as well. I don't find myself wearing any of these skins at all, and hot take, but I think that Rick Sanchez was a weak tier 100 skin if I'm being honest. And it's a shame that the Battle Pass was a letdown, as I think Chapter 2 Season 7 was a fantastic season and it's super underrated. But with all that said, we'll put Chapter 2 Season 7's Battle Pass into C tier. And closing out for Chapter 2, we have Season 8. And in my opinion, this Battle Pass is extremely underrated. I love every single skin that's included, and I say that truthfully, and it's not rage bait whatsoever. I mean, we have skins like Charlotte, Core, Tuna Fish, Carnage, Torin, JB Chimpansky, the Cube Queen, and oh yeah, the goats of all goats, with Fabio Sparklemane. So without hesitation, I'll certainly put this pass into A tier. The island is split for Chapter 3, and Fortnite finally proved that they are finally able to launch a brand new chapter that featured a really strong battle pass. We had Foundation, Ronin, Harlow, and oh yeah, we had Spider-Man himself. And not only did we get Spider-Man, but we also had Symbiote Spider-Man as our tier 100, which was fantastic. Now this battle pass did have some weak links with Gumbo and Lieutenant John Llama, but I'll still put this pass into A tier. Next up, we have Chapter 3 Season 2. Now this battle pass is a bit of a toss-up for me, as I really enjoy Doctor Strange, Arisa, and Tazuki 2.0. But the rest of the skins I'm just iffy on. I get the Origin and Imagined are major story characters, but I'm still not a big fan of the skins. And not to mention, we also had Gunner and Kiara, which are certainly the weakest skins of the pass. There's not much more to say about the battle pass, other than I know that I'm in the minority, as a lot of players seem to love this battle pass, but for me, I'm gonna have to put it into C tier. Next up, we have Chapter 3 Season 3. Now if you're a regular viewer, a member of my Discord, or have watched any episodes of the Worthless Opinions podcast, you know that Vibin is my least favorite Fortnite season of all time. And that feeling translates to the battle pass as well, because to be blunt, this pass is buns. The only skins that I enjoy are Eevee and Snap, as the rest of the skins are just mediocre or plain bad. Darth Vader is iconic, yes, but the skin looks wonky in game, and to top it all off, the super styles are horrendous list, and they're easily the worst super styles of any battle pass that we've received. So I know recently it's been popular to all of a sudden act like Vibin was good, but I'll stand my ground and put it where it deserves to be, in D tier. And moving on to our last pass of Chapter 3, we have Season 4. Now this pass is often hated on by the player base, and while I don't think it's a fantastic pass by any means, it still has some very redeeming skins. Spider-Gwen and Paradigm are my personal highlights, and Meowscles is a pretty solid skin as well. And yes, this battle pass does have bites, but I don't think he's as bad as everyone claims he is, and I definitely don't think that he's the worst of the pass. So with that said, Chapter 3 Season 4's Battle Pass lands in B tier. Next up, we have our first pass from Chapter 4 with Season 1. And this pass was pretty great. I mean, we had Doomslayer and the Ageless, which are definitely two of the best skins from Chapter 4. Then we had Halsey, Geralt, Celine, and Dusty, who were all great skins as well. And as if the Battle Pass wasn't already great enough, the super styles for this season were fantastic, so Chapter 4 Season 1's Battle Pass will go into A tier. Chapter 4 Season 2. Now let's be short and sweet with this one. This Battle Pass is absolute peak. The only skin that I don't like from the past is Eren Yeager, but with those aside, we have skins like Stray, Highwire, and my favorite Chapter 4 skin with Mizuki. Not to mention we have Renzo, who has grown on me recently, and Mystica, who is super underrated in my opinion. So with all that said, the Chapter 4 Season 2 Battle Pass will go into A tier. And then we have Chapter 4 Season 3. Now this season is certainly a toss-up with the player base, but I'd like to think that we can all agree that this Battle Pass is pretty solid. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Ryan or Optimus Prime, but I think the rest of the Battle Pass makes up for it, and I think this Battle Pass has some of the most underrated skins from Chapter 4, such as Trace, Relic, and Mariposa. So with that said, we'll put Chapter 4 Season 3's Battle Pass into A tier. And coming in to ruin the streak of good Chapter 4 Battle Passes, we have Season 4. Now I'll be short and sweet with this one, as I've talked about this pass a ton in other videos, and I can only dunk on Nolan Chant so many times before I feel bad for the epic employee who designed them. But being serious, the only skins that are worth running in this pass are May and Antonia, and possibly Kato Thorn if you're running the human version. The super styles give me a headache, and so does the rest of the battle pass, so we'll throw this battle pass into C tier. And now we arrive at one of the shorter battle passes on the list with Season OG. This pass pulled a Season X on us again, but this time it was mashups of characters rather than remixes. All of these skins are absolute heat, and Spectronite has so many customization options that it's actually insane. And though this pass might be small, due to the fact that the season was only a month long, this is one of the best battle passes on the list, so we'll throw it into S tier. And now we've arrived in Chapter 5, so let's start with Season 1. This is probably one of the most slept on battle passes if I'm being honest. The worst skin in the battle pass is without a doubt Peter Griffin, but come on, it's Peter Griffin. Do I like the skin? No, but I respect the inclusion. All jokes aside though, I think this battle pass was a great start to Chapter 5, and it gave us some of my favorite skins from Chapter 5, including Solid Snake, Hope, and Valeria. So with all that said, we'll put the Chapter 5 Season 1 Battle Pass into A tier. And moving on to Season 2, we have another battle pass that I think is underrated. Fortnite had a tough challenge of designing iconic Greek characters while also making them unique to Fortnite, and I think they did a good job, as I honestly really love every skin in this battle pass besides Zeus. It should be a war crime to give a Greek god camo pants. The man looks like John Cena rather than a literal Greek god. But besides Zeus, this is a phenomenal battle pass, so we'll throw it into A tier. And then we have Season 3, which is probably the weakest battle pass of the chapter if I'm being honest. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. I appreciate that they went with a theme and stuck with it throughout, and I think it works with the majority of the skins. But overall, it's not too bad, but I don't find myself wearing any of these skins, even a season later, so we'll throw it into B tier. And finally, we arrive to our current season on the list with Chapter 5 Season 4. I will go ahead and say that I think this pass is fantastic, but I don't think it's as strong as the battle pass from Chapter 2 Season 4. I truly enjoy every skin in this pass, but I think the fact that we have slots being taken by skins like Captain Jones and Pilverine takes the battle pass down a notch in my opinion. And not to mention, I think the super styles for this pass are just okay, but overall I think the pass is still solid, so we'll put it into A tier. And of course, this list is just my list. I'm sure a lot of you already have, or you're eager to tell me that I'm wrong in the comments below, and I welcome you to do so. I read every single comment on my videos, and I truly love interacting with you guys, whether you agree with me or you don't. But until next time, as always, take care and stay twisty.